Well, here we are with our wounded warrior. Sorry about the fan noise, but while it is fall, it is still like 80 degrees outside and the humidity is going on up. Just the way it is around here. So we are here with the old Trojan, and we've got a few small jobs we've got to do on some other cars, but it's after work, so I've got a little bit of time after work for the next couple of days. I figured we might start looking at the Trojan horse and kind of preliminary examination. So first thing I'm gonna do is pull all the plugs out of it. I've got my Harbor Freight compression tester, and while yes, I do not necessarily trust the actual readings, as long as I get a reading, then I can look for the variance from cylinder to cylinder, and there we go. Not the, oh, it's got this much or this much, whatever. It's just, oh, this one's, if they all say 100 and one of them says 70 or 50, then that's a problem. So the actual number's irrelevant for me. So less talking, more working. Let me get some wrenches and stuff and start get this party started. All right, we got all the plugs out. If anything, they look a little rich. Number 5 always looks bad because it's got some rings. But this is the other side. They're in order. Sorry, but nothing looked even remotely. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Nothing, you know, nothing there like it was lean or anything like that. So, well, we'll do a compression check real quick, and at least maybe it'll give us just one side to look at. I know if you're going to change them both, but hey, come on, bro. All right, let's pop this puppy. Let's pop this puppy apart. Let's compression check it real quick. One other thing really quickly, this is a Tusson's Tips. They're back. It's back. If you have GT40 heads, they use a long reach plug. So what I did was I went to AutoZone and bought a spark plug extender. Now what I'm getting at is that a lot of times the compression checkers, especially the cheap ones, I guess, they won't fit all the way down. They're not tapered down enough to get in. So what I did was I bought a spark plug extender and cut it off and screwed in the compression checker, and then, you know, RTV'd it a little bit so it'll stay, so it won't come apart every time. And now I have it'll go all the way in, blah, blah, blah. That's, you know, like P's and regular 3 bars. Traditional heads, you don't have that problem. But with these long reach tapered plugs, it can be an issue. So anyway, there you go, boom. Maybe that'll help somebody. Those little extenders are like $5 for a pack of 2 or something. So, all right, we just tested the driver sides. I'll go 5 through 8, 125, 115, 118, 120. The funny part is the number 5 is the one that oil valve's probably got some carbon buildup. So while those numbers are what they are, they're all within reason of each other. So we'll move to the other side and see what we got over there. My remote starter button burnt up. Of course, you can build one cheaper than buying one, I suppose. And if you're really race car-y, you can have it right here. But that's the full-on race car stuff. We did it like that. Good too. Running out of options here. Fire in the hole. Well, that's curious. Number 4 was the lowest, but it's 1 through 4, it's 115, 120, 118, and about 112. I'm guesstimating a little bit on the gauge because it goes in increments of 5. So it's 115, 120, 118, 112, 125, 115, 118, 120. Could we be so lucky as that it's a leaky intake gasket? Could we be that lucky? Probably not. Well, the next thing to do is to, you know, tear the intake off of it. Son of a gun. Like I say, it did nothing to lead me to believe that anything was wrong. There was no smoke, no white smoke. A lot of times you get a head gasket, it'll start pushing coolant into the cylinder, and it'll start puffing like a freight train. You guys seen enough Street Outlaws or just cars at the track doing that. We've done it. I've had a few nitrous cars before this car. So anyway, no white smoke, no detonation, no pop. There was just nothing. None of the plugs. There's nothing there that would indicate that we had a head gasket except for there's, you know, water in the oil. Other than that, you know, the car sits inside. It hasn't been sitting outside or anything like that, so it hasn't got froze, whatever. There's just nothing there. So let's start digging. All right, guys, here's a little bit of our ported intake. This is hard to see. I'm trying to look at the screen at the same time. So this is the one that I did myself, you know. But hey, what the hell? Look at that right there. That's perfection. Wow. So anyway, let's finish unbolting it and get it off so that we can see. I don't know. Watch it. It's probably still a head gasket. We just, you know. Awesome. All right. After doing some quick measurements, we've got some room to grow on our intake as far as you can even see with the gasket. If we just, of course, that don't 100% line up with the heads, but we still got some meat we could take off the bottom of the intake. And no such luck on our gaskets or anything. I mean, this is just a milky mess, but we didn't see anything on our intake gaskets that would lead us to believe that one of them was leaking. So, I guess we're just going to pull the heads off. We could have a cracked head, I guess. We could have one that's cracked. Or it could be a blown head gasket. So, oh well. Screw it. Just pull the heads off. Woo-wee, we're getting something done now. Oh, we're making a mess. Making a mess. Okay, guys. When I was talking about it blowing a head gasket, there's also another thing where since the small block Fords, and I'm sure basically everyone's aware of this, just has 4 head bolts. These things are kind of bad about lifting heads and blowing head gaskets and things like that. But it probably doesn't help if your torque is not 100% right and you're technically reusing head bolts. Now I want you to look real close right here. See this area right here? I think possibly that we were getting some weepage, and when we use the nitrous on it, it could pressurize this a little bit. There's a lot of dampness right here. You can see a little bit of oily residue over here, and then we're pretty good at being dry around. But this right here could have been somewhere we were getting some of our weepage. That's a possibility. We haven't pulled the other head off yet, and we could have a blown head gasket on that side. But having looked at this, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure if these head gaskets, I got a set from Michael, sorry, that he had used and was going to throw away. See right here, but that right there, looks a little suspicious. So I mean, you can see where the gasket's gone. We might have been getting some weepage there. Of course, you know, we don't know 100%, like I say, because we don't have the other head off, we could have very well have a blown head gasket. But I also did a torque check. Yeah, you can see right here we got a bunch of moisture right here. Now this looks okay, but you can right around here, but right in here, got a little bit right here. But I think if these are the used head gaskets I got from Michael, I honestly can't remember what I put them on. In conjunction with nitrous and a potential reusing the stock head bolts, that could have contributed to this thing lifting ahead a little bit and pushing the gasket or whatever. So we're going to pull the other head off and we'll see what we got. But you know, it bees that way. Now, when I was putting this car together and doing this, I didn't really have a huge intention of running nitrous or whatever. I just kind of winging it a little bit, just get it going and go play with it some. So, but I'm sure this will amaze everybody. We are going to buy a new set of head gaskets and we're going to buy some ARP head bolts, you know, some of the cheap ones, but we'll just go ahead and buy those and be done with it. So I'm sure maybe I could get a stock set from Ford or somewhere. I could get them OEM a little cheaper, and maybe I'll look into that. But you know, you can get ARP; they're like $45. So anyway, that is where we're at right now. Let me pull the other head off, and maybe we'll have some more information on this. All right, guys, we got the other head off, and as you'll notice, there is a huge amount of wetness, and you can even see the rust right here. I didn't even notice that with the heads on. You can see where water was dripping down. Now that the head's off, I can see it. But you can see here, here, here. You can see it on the head gasket. And then on the back side, yeah, look at the gasket. It's bubbled up, it's just eat up. Yep. Yep. Well, there we go. So technically, we didn't hurt anything. We just shot ourselves in the foot. It's not the first time, not the last time. And honestly, it probably would have been fine if we would just left it on motor and stuff like that. It ain't got enough compression or anything like that for it to ever really start really doing anything, because we basically made almost 100 passes on it, and we only started having this happened after we put the nitrous on, of course. But anyway, that's where we're at. Nothing's seriously injured, and we'll fix it. And here we are in the next clip. The weather has, we go through these things where the weather changes. Like, I'm sure everyone lives places that happens. Yesterday it was shorts and t-shirt and like 70. Today it's like 40 and long sleeves. So anyway, just got off work and we're out here with the Trojan horse. What have we got here? Hey, head gaskets. Head gaskets. We got head gaskets. We didn't splurge out and get the 11102s or whatever, 1101-2s, whatever the crap they are. We got the regular old 8548 PTs, and these are basically the same thing as the 93 whatevers. Since we don't plan on running nitrous anymore, we're not really worried about having a better head gasket, I guess. And these have went up in price a little bit. These were $25 at the local parts store, but I got them from Summit. They were 15 bucks a piece, so that's a $20 savings. We also got some intake gaskets, and we got some ARP head bolts. We splurged and got 12 points, but, and this may come as a huge shock to some of you guys, I don't think I'm going to use them. I think I'm going to reuse the head bolts that were in it. Shocker! And I'll just save these. We'll put these in our dirty pickle parts pile, because when we go, dirty pickle, we're going to run some boost. Allegedly, we'll see. We're not even working on it. Calm down. But we're going to need head bolts. I'll put these on that, since I'm not planning on using any nitrous or anything like that on Trojan horse. We're just going to forego these. I know they're only $50, but that's how my mind works, and I'm sorry. So I need to clean the heads up, and I need to clean the block up a little bit. I've been working on some other stuff. So we do have our parts, and we're gonna start putting it back together. So let me start cleaning things up, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Get the heads on, get them torqued down, and maybe start looking at the bolt and exhaust up. Still gotta basically remove the nitrous kit. Oh, sad face. Not really sad face. It's not for me. I'm sure someone have a sad face. Don't worry, we may have a, you know, a little ways down the road, we may find a use for it somewhere else. I just gotta go on my gut. And my gut is telling me that I never envisioned this car really as being a nitrous car. So, we've got our RTV for our lower head bolts. Everyone's, I'm sure, aware of this, that they go through into some water. So, anyway, I know we're using head bolts, right? Do as I say, not as I do. All right, let me get some RTV on these things. Okay, whoa, look at us. Look at us, we're building a car. Oh boy. Well, we are closer now than we were before, while it still looks like we are a long ways away, and we kind of are, but we've got a lot of the hard work done. We've got the headers bolted on, and that is always a lot of fun. These things, if you're a old school subscriber or even a new school one that's checked out the Trojan horse videos, you know what a struggle these headers were, at least for me. Man, these things jumped on me and they would not get off. But we got them on. Now we're fixing to take the valve covers and the rockers and stuff. We'll just spray them off in the parts washer real quick, and then we're ready to bolt all that stuff down, and then we can put the lower intake on and put the injector rail back in and plug everything up, start putting the alternator on. We're getting closer. It'll start coming together kind of quick now. Probably will not start it today. We'll just let the RTV and stuff sit. I've also got to get another oil filter and some fresh oil, so we can, you know, we got to drain all this junk out before we start it, and then run it, and then put some fresh oil in it. So it's going to be a couple of oil changes to get everything out. So, but I'm getting excited. We also got to get the plugs. I've got the hot plugs at the house for this car. So, but yeah, we're getting close. So it's getting exciting, at least for me. So let me go wash that stuff off real quick. We'll start bolting it back together. All right, we've got everything cleaned up, all in there. So let's shut off the old parts washer and go put this stuff together. All right, it's starting to look like a car a little bit. We've got you know, the alternator and stuff on, and some of the cooling system and our torque strap. Got our injector stuff in. Like I say, the only thing we've really got to do now is bolt the mufflers on and drain the oil. Do the rockers. I mean, we're, you know, hey, we're getting there. So we're ready to ride. I'm ready to get this thing going, man. I just got to remember to bring that stuff with me tomorrow. Plugs, shims. I think we're good. All right, and I got to stop and get some oil and some filters. All right, man, we are good. I come in the shop, come out here to get shims and stuff, and Walter runs in here. Callie runs in here. Growler runs in here. I know the place is messy. I've got some stuff I got to organize, my new license plates and stuff. I just ain't been able to spend much time out here. Hey, what are you doing, dude? Walter. He don't pay no attention to nobody. All right, we got our shims and found a set of plugs and stuff, so yay. We are back. It's the next day, and we've got something in here in our bag to make all our dreams come true. We've got the shims for our rockers. We've also got a couple sets of spark plugs. One set came out of these heads originally. We'll clean them up and use them. We've also got some auto lights. We may use auto lights. The other ones are NGK. We also went and got some Oral. It's just some old Quaker State. It was on sale. And we've got us a cheap off-brand oil filter for our first oil change, so we can we'll drain it, pull the one that's off, screw this one on. Probably just put 2-3 quarts of oil in it. Not this, we got some out here at the plant that's really cheap. But I would have used the cheapest I could have found, which was like some diesel oil or machine oil. I'd say machine oil, it's like diesel oil for tractors and stuff that, that's at the local, like Walmart. And then we'll put us a fresh FL1A on, put our Quaker State in, and we'll be good to go. And we'll probably have to do another oil change down the road a little bit, or I'll want to. And we'll put a little bit of Marvel Mist oil, not this whole thing, also use this as fuel cleaner. So we'll put a little bit of this in there for our clean out oil change, and then we put our regular oil change in. We may put a little bit more in there just to, just to give it a little slippery. So anyway, but we've got the shims, and that's good to go. So I guess we can start working. So let me get to work. Oh, and we've got some Mountain Dew in that Whataburger cup. Quick update, I've been playing around with shims and stuff, and I go through this all the time on pedestal mount stuff, taking them apart, having them back together, where I'm shimming and not shimming, shimming and not shimming. And I really need some shims that are like 10,000, because that's I think that'd be perfect. These the shims only come in certain sizes on my micrometer. They're 19 and 30 something, 36 or whatever, or 35, something like that. So maybe my micrometer's off a little bit, because they should be 15 and 30. But needless to say, with a shim in, they're too loose, and they need just a touch. And not all of them. It could be the way the springs are shimmed with different shims, and the way that they sit in the seats and stuff, the valves. So they didn't have shims on them when I pulled it apart. I'm sure if I go back and look at the Trojan horse video or think about it, I probably went through the same thing, because these shims have got oil on them. I've used them multiple times over the years. So we're just going to leave it the way it is, and just bolt it all back together and put the valve covers on. So, all right, there we go. Shim, shim thing, no big deal. Here we go. I just like naturally aspirated cars. And I like just simple combos. They're just fun to drive. They don't give you any trouble. So I'm excited. We got a few little changes planned. Nothing major. And make it maybe a little bit more fun. Maybe we'll beat that 735 best pass. Never know. We can try. That's the fun part. Trying to do it. So, okay, let me turn it off. I need to get a couple different bolts and finish bolting it down. This is chocolate milkshake. Yummy. All right, guys, it is running. We are going to let it warm up a little bit. Got to set the timing and run all our oil and stuff through, and then we'll drain it again, change the filter, put our fresh oil in, and then we'll be ready, I think, for a test drive. So far, it's been okay. Of course, I had to drop the distributor twice. guys, we got it all done. We've got our other oil change done with some fresh oil in it, a fresh filter, and we actually have driven it just a small amount. Everything seems to be running fine, so let's take a quick drive and then we'll just come back and we'll wrap this video up. I know it's already getting kind of long, but Trojan horse is back. It's back. So let's take a quick ride. Trojan is still rocking a totally stock T5, except for a bearing retainer. It does have a steel bearing retainer. Check the camera shot. All right, guys, sorry for the wind noise. It's a little windy. It's also a little bit chilly, but that's good for us because we've had it so hot for so long now. You don't hear me complaining about it. Trojan horse is back. It's naturally aspirated. I know that hurts some of you guys' feelings, but it doesn't hurt mine at all. We're gonna take it to the track at some point. We just gotta try and fit it in and find the right day because we got other stuff going on. We've got a couple other little things we might do to it before we take it up there. Maybe a smidge of weight loss, maybe 20-30 pounds. Also, I found some 90-10 struts that I got from the junkyard a while back. I totally forgot that I had. We may throw those on, and maybe some front springs. Who knows, maybe. This one strut I think is pretty much locked up. So, you know, maybe 149, 60 foot before, but whatever. So, you guys tell me, what do you think it's going to run when we take it back to the track? Now, we did change to a 30-pound Pro M. We left that on. We left the 30-pound injectors in. We did a little bit more porting on our lower intake. Still got the stock GT40, still got the mystery cam, still got 410s. The fastest it ever ran in this configuration, besides the injectors and the mass air, had 19s in the boom tube, was a 735. That's it. That's the fastest. Are we going to beat that time? I don't know. But, you know, we're going to go up there, we're going to try, and after we're done with that, you know, maybe we'll do the struts, maybe we won't, we don't know. We just don't know. We're kind of in a holding pattern. So anyway, but it's back. Trojan horse is back, and it's officially back now. It's really back. So we'll see it a little bit more on the channel. It's been 2 years since it's been to the track, so I'm excited to get back up there with it, and just excited to have it running again. I really like this car. So I'm excited to like this car again. So before someone comes driving by, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting, thanks for watching, and until next time on Substandard Leader in Fox Body Videos, and as I always say, we are the Substandard Leader in Fox Body Videos. Until next time, you know. We're also the lover of POS Mustangs. I say that, Trojan, Krusty, we love those cars. Four Eyes, Lincolns, Verts, LTDs, 5.8s, drag vans, and Foxes that come in all shapes, colors, size, forms, and conditions. We'll see you guys later on. Woo, it's time to go eat. I'm hungry.